Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are shifting the focus. After my sabbatical, I have come to this understanding within myself, and so I'll be shifting the focus of the channel just a bit. But this is something that has been on my heart for a while, and I had to take time away in order to connect with myself and to understand what it was that I wanted to do. And so today's topic is how can I heal my broken heart? You know, we're going to look into ways that we can heal ourselves so that we can come into alignment with what it is that we're trying to manifest on a higher level. Okay? So I do want to say thank you to those of you that have been a part of this journey, who continue to support me and who continue to support this tribe and just be a part of this incredible community. I'm so honored to have you here. For those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. These are general readings, so with that in mind, take what resonates, leave what does not. Remember to like, share, and comment on the video. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links necessary below in the description box in order to do so. You may email me for a personal reading, and I'll get you out further information from there. You may also follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. If you're interested in becoming a member, if you click on the join button, it will show the 3 options I have available, as well as what comes with each of those options. So I do hope to see you there, and if not, thank you always for your continued support here. You may notice there's going to be a lot of changes. I changed the mat. I thought we needed something bright. You know, the other one, I love the other mat too, but it's time for something a little bit more brighter. And I don't know, I haven't brought out I have one that's a little bit tie-dye. I haven't brought that one out, but this one I've had for a while, and it was time to use it. It's the tree of life, the tree of knowledge, if you will. All right, so let's get into our prayer. You might hear the AC turning on and off. It is pretty warm here where I'm at today, so my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. I ask that you open their hearts to the healing that it is that you're bringing through today, that you wrap them in the white violet light of healing energy and remind us that we are still complete and whole beings, even if we've gone through trauma and even if we have gone through tragic endings or we've gone through difficult stages in our lives and our hearts have been shattered and broken to pieces, that we are still full and complete, even if it doesn't feel like it. I ask that you hold each of these individuals in your arms and remind them that they are still lovable. They always have been lovable. And that even though they've had these difficult things that have happened to them, that you are leading them to the love that is rightfully theirs, that will bring happiness into their lives. That truthfully it is about us connecting with the contentment and the happiness within our own souls. And as we do that, that we can then attract that energy into our lives. I ask that you hold us all and bless us all. Bring miracles and gifts upon our lives that remind us that we are on the right journey. As these words are spoken onto this space and onto my community and tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Aseh. Thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So today we are going to use my bird oracle cards. I've already got them shuffled for you. So source for pile number 1. What bird message oracle will help us better understand how pile number 1 can heal their broken hearts? Message for pile number 1. What oracle card will help us better understand how pile number 1 can heal their broken heart? Okay, thank you, source. And for pile number 2, source, What bird oracle card will help us better understand how pile number 2 can heal their broken hearts? For pile number 2 source. One card. How can pile number 2 heal their broken heart? Okay, thank you, source. And for pile number 3, what bird oracle message will help us better understand how pile number 3 can help heal their broken heart? For pile number 3, source. Okay, thank you. Collective message on the bottom. Emperor Penguin. Small steps lead to profound metamorphosis. I love that. I love that for the collective. Reminding us that nothing good and worthwhile happens overnight, that it does take time, but that there's beauty in that time that passes for us to heal ourselves and to get connected with the truth within our hearts, right? So we do have for pile number 1 this beautiful piece of yellow citrine. Okay, for pile number 2 we have this rhodocrosonite. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful piece of rose quartz. Okay, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever one you are drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of yellow citrine, if I can get it to focus, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on how can you heal your broken heart. First thing, I do want to say thank you to those of you that continue to support this channel, to be a part of this journey with me. I'm so honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Keep in mind they are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in supporting it further, there's links below in the description box where you can email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information from there. You can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio on Spotify. And if you're interested in becoming a member, there's a join button down below. And when you click on that, it'll show you the 3 levels I have available, as well as the options that come with each level. So I do hope to see you over there. If not, thank you for your continued support here. And let's hop to it. Let's find out, how can pile number 1 heal their broken heart source? What messages do you have for us? How can pile number 1 heal their broken heart? What would you like to let them know, source? How can pile number 1 heal their broken heart? Okay, so we've got the 3rd house, we've got Libra energy, and we have Jupiter. So luck is in store. There's growth and abundance here. Okay, and it starts with your rational mind, the way that you communicate with yourself. What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself that you deserved it? Are you telling yourself, trying to rationalize what happened? Are you trying to blame this person? You know, and when I say that, it's not that this person gets away scot-free, especially if something really harsh happened. It's just remembering that blame is one of the heaviest vibrational energies that we can experience, that will continue to bring that back to us and put us in situations where we'll continue to be in a state of blame. And this is probably one of the hardest emotions to get out of, because it's something that runs rampant in society, and especially if you're an empath, it's easy to absorb that from other sources and to really believe that that is a true emotion to hold in your life, right? And it's not. It's a wounding from the emotional ego. The truth is that situation didn't work out, and that there is and will always be something that is more aligned with you and your journey. And it doesn't take away the pain. It doesn't take away the suffering. It's not meant to, right? What takes away the pain and the suffering is reminding yourself that there was still something that you played a part in this situation, okay? And with Libra energy coming out here, you can have... So there's being gullible. There's being very superficial. There's this getting connected with people who were known open enemies and letting them influence your life. But there was a huge lesson that was learned here from this experience as well with Jupiter, okay? And when we bring up these aspects of ourselves, right, we're not saying like, of course I'm to blame. What did I say about blame, right? We're not trying to blame ourselves. That's not what this is. It's reminding ourselves that we could have been a perpetrator, but equally so, we could have been an instigator. And those are the two parts that play in that, right? So if you got involved with a narcissist, the narcissist would have been the perpetrator. But if you stayed for a long time with a narcissist, then you become the instigator, right? You're the one that lets them get away with what it was that they were doing and stayed there because of feeling like you didn't have a choice. And this is something I had to learn from my own journey. This is from my own experience of having dealt with so many narcissistic relationships and severely abusive relationships. And so with this combination of dice, we see being honest in your communication towards yourself and the part that you played in the breaking of your heart, because you knew, your intuition and your soul knew it wasn't good for you. But we see that the emotional ego wants to hold on so badly to those parts that we want to prove either ourselves wrong or other people wrong, or we can't not imagine a life without the situation as it was, right? In that moment. Of course, now that it's happened and we're on the other side, we're like, I wish it never happened at all. But in the moment, where was your mindset? And this is what Source is bringing to light here with the third house, is asking you to look at how you've been talking to yourself, or how you're trying to rationalize what has happened to you to make it not seem so bad, or to make it even seem worse than what it was. Rather, what were the facts? What happened? And looking at the facts and then saying, from those facts, how can I look at myself and say, okay, this is the role I played. This is the role that they played. And this is the role that I now have to take in order to heal. And how you can heal with Libra energy here is being completely honest with yourself and finding balance in the middle of that. So if you were in a place where you were the victim as an instigator, right? An instigated victim, someone who's going to continue to let a situation perpetuate around them. How can you come into a centered place of finding strong boundaries? And this is what will help heal your heart. We do see this idea of your justice is coming through strong boundaries. Your justice and growth and abundance of self, and also spiritual growth with Jupiter here, comes from strong, solid boundaries and knowing yourself inside and out, and the way it is that you speak to yourself, okay? This is something that you've dealt with for your entire lives with the third house here, okay? This is something that you probably experienced with your parents. This is something that you experienced with friends. And it's just that when you're romantically involved with someone, if that is the case for you, it can seem like it's even more detrimental than it was for those other situations. And if this is a family situationship or a friendship, we see that we were holding on so tightly to the outcome of it being the way that we expected it to be. And expectations set us up for disappointment every time. rather than allowing ourselves to step back and just watch as it unfolds. We all try to play a part in controlling the dynamic, and this involves the other person too. They're not free from that either, right? They also play a part in trying to control the dynamic here. So, Source, how can pile number 1 heal their broken heart? What would you like to say here? Source, how can pile number 1 heal their broken heart? Okay, thank you. Source, how can pile number 1 heal their broken heart? What would you like to say here? Thank you. Yeah, we have the King of Coins on the bottom. Shifting from this place of stepping on people's toes, or stepping even on this person's toes, or your own toes, right? Stepping on your own toes, you know, becoming completely conscious of our own emotional egoic reactions to situations, including this situation, and finding internal balance here, right? This is where you'll make headway. This is where you will get a better foundation in your life by moving away from this belief that someone has to hold blame, and by moving away from the fact that someone materialistically or physically in this world is holding on to your heart. Like, it's like my heart, I keep hearing the song, I left my heart in San Francisco. I actually don't know how it goes, but that's what I keep hearing. I left my heart in San Francisco. It's like I left my heart with that person. That person holds my heart. That person will always hold my heart. You have put yourself in a place where you've given this person power over you by feeling like, because the way you emotionally feel connected to them, feeling like that is stronger than your ability to care for yourself. And so Source is pointing that out here, that you're actually far, far more capable than you're giving yourself credit for, of pulling back the pieces of you that you feel were left or scattered. And that you don't have to stay connected to someone who is in this place of being they're just on a different journey, right? It's like, not even being in a bad place. They're just on their own journey where they're at. So we have the Queen of Wands. We have the 6 of Swords. And we have the 8 of Swords in the reverse. And this is controlling, right? This is someone trying to control the situation between two halves that will never make a whole. Or I would say that 2 wholes that never make a complete piece, right? Because you're already whole. You're already a whole being. And there's this belief that's saying, oh, I want to find my other half. Well, you know, you're already whole. You've always been a whole being. Like, we were created as a whole being, not as a half being. That was not the purpose of our coming here, was to be a half being, right? So we were already created as a whole being. And it feels like here there's this want to control, like, well, they hurt me and I want them to feel that hurt too. I want them to feel that pain. And it's like, I'm not willing to look at the fact that I have gotten out of a bad situation. I'm not willing to look at the fact that I've grown from this situation. And that's actually why your broken heart is continuing to persist, is because, and that's what I was saying, like, I keep getting this emotion of blame. It's their fault. I would never be in this place if it weren't for them. I would never have experienced this if it weren't for them. So screw them. They deserve to suffer. But you holding on to that, regardless if they deserve suffering or not, okay? Because I'm not here to dish that out. I'm not here to say yes or no. That judgment is not my place. Judgment is not any human's place, because it's not ours. It's not something that was given to us to deal out, right? But we love to think that we have the ability and the control to do that. And, you know, one thing, I had a situation with my ex, you know, and my ex, like I said, I was in a very abusive relationship. And I found out that he was cheating on me. And instead of calling it quits, I chose to go down this road, this very same energy of what I'm going to make him wish that he had never done this to me. And so I jumped back in and I gave 1,000% of myself so that it was like, well, when I do leave, he's going to know what he's missing. That's exactly how I felt about it. Well, I'm going to tell you, he didn't get hurt because in his mind, it was like, oh, okay, cool. I can do whatever I want to do. She's just going to roll over and keep doing it. Even though in my mind, I was like, no, I'm controlling the situation. I'm the one that's in charge now. The charge and the control comes from taking control of yourself. And you do see here that you have a balanced energy, that you are in a place of seeing yourself from a higher light and love, right? With the Queen of Wands here and the Six of Swords. But there's also this want to control the outcome of this person's life. So this could be lack of forgiveness. This could be a hate that's developing within you. This could be dissonance within your heart, the broken heart that you have. Like, I want them to feel that. And because of that, it's keeping you from growing into Empress status here, or from growing even into Emperor status. This is keeping you in a place of having to set these solid boundaries. But when we see that here, the Queen of Wands, what I was saying with the dice, the Queen of Wands is the one card in the deck that she will lay down her wand in the pursuit of protecting herself and her standards, right? This is where she finds true balance. I'm not going to compromise on my boundaries. I'm not going to compromise on my standards because you're someone who likes to continually overstep those. All right. And so what we have here now is paying attention to, why are you feeling the dissatisfaction that this person may get something that you're not, or that this person is going on with life without feeling the guilt or the regret? Like, what is it that you feel like you need to hold on to without setting boundaries, right? So how you can heal your heart, your broken heart right now, is by solidly setting these boundaries and not giving in to this want and this temptation to control. You know, when we have the King of Coins in the reverse, it's dissatisfaction with what one already has. It's somebody who is willing to step on toes to get this idea that they want. But we see here that you're trying to strive for emotional balance. And this is where Source wants you to go, is towards emotional balance, integrity, and maturity. But that can only come from letting go and forgiving what has happened in the past, okay? Forgiving the person. And it's like, this is difficult for so many people because the hurt and the pain was so bad. And I get that. I didn't want to forgive my ex for a very long time. And then I realized that the only person that it was hurting was me, because he had gone and moved on, was with some other younger girl, was already having a life. She'd already met his family. Everybody had pictures with her. Everybody was happy that she was there. Everybody wished her a happy birthday. I never had any of that connection with his family, you know, and it was so crazy to see that she walked in and she basically got the man that I never had. But I don't know that either. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors with them. And it was like realizing that I was in this space of trying to control the outcome for so long that I wasn't willing to see if the situation was right or wrong for me, because I wanted to make it what I wanted it. And so that's the energy that we have here with these two coming out next to one another. And so how you can heal your broken heart is by seeing, what are your standards? What do I want in my life? What do I desire in my life when it comes to love? And then stepping into that energy right now. Not spending time letting what happened before become a problem in the future. Because the more you focus on this, the more that you place blame. And that was what I was doing constantly with my ex, was placing blame on him. I kept getting situations in my life that were reminiscent of that past. But when I decided to forgive and forgive from the heart and let it go, they ceased. They stopped coming into my life. Those situations just stopped. And then that's when the real work began, when I was able to really look into and understand myself at a deeper core level. And so here you have setting yourself really solid boundaries, reminding yourself that you are worthy and deserving of love. And this is a mental thing here too, right? With the Six of Swords here, this is allowing yourself to mentally understand that to be in this energy of control based on anxieties, fears, anger, upset, feeling the danger of the situation, whatever it is just going to perpetuate that. And Source is asking you to let this go in order to come into a place of balance, stable, emotional well-being here with the Four of Cups. Okay, so let's get some oracles out here. What would you like to say, Source, for this? How can pile number 1 heal their broken heart? Whoa, that was crazy. Optimism, exploration, and freedom. Freeing yourself from the past. Okay, and this connects with Jupiter energy. This is where your biggest growth comes, is setting a goal and aiming towards that goal and then letting yourself fly towards it without worrying about what happened before. Because what happened before, it's already written. There's no changing it. There's only changing you. Right? You can't change how they showed up. You can't change what they said. You can't change how you showed up or what you said. It's already done. It's over with. It's gone. But what you can change now is how you choose to show up for yourself and how you choose to show up should a situation like this arise in the future. House 5, passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. It's about taking action. This is how we have Aries, Sag, and Leo energy here. Okay, so I have also hearing that you might have Virgo in the 10th house. You may also have Leo in the 8th house. Okay, and Aries in the 7th house. These are very specific. Okay, but reminding yourself that you are worthy of having a good time right now. This has been weighing on you for a long time. Okay, this is something that's been weighing on you for a long time. Something that's kept you from enjoying yourself, enjoying life. Feeling like you always have to play a role. Because if you don't play a role, then everything's going to fall apart around you. Being supportive of yourself. Make a genuine effort to show that you care. This is you taking care of you. Okay? This is you. I don't know if you heard that bird just go, meow. That was a bird. Yeah, you taking care of you. This is where you find power. This is where you find your ability to reconnect with your manifestational skills. This is the transformation. Sometimes it's difficult for us to accept that what we went through in life, the hard things that we went through in life, were actually for our betterment. Right? Because it's like, you don't understand how difficult it was. You don't understand how hard it was for me to experience this. But the truth of the matter is that every person on the earth experiences hardships and difficulties. So they do understand what it is to deal with hardships and difficulties in life. Even though they want to think that separation, that's the emotional egoic wounding coming out, is saying, no one knows what I go through. No one understands me. It's because the only reason we're saying that is because we don't understand ourselves and we don't want to know the root of why we went through it. And that's why we're in this separation. Okay, it's time for you to ask your answers and get questions. That is a very unique way that it came out, because it's actually very true. When you ask questions, oftentimes they lead to more questions. Your answers will become questions, right? So that's what they want here. And it was just interesting that they had it come out that way. But they really want you to spend time. This is connecting with your guides, connecting with Source, connecting with your higher self, your intuition, spending time without distractions, no phone, no TV, going out in nature, and really connecting with the life that you want. Visualizing that and then asking, how can I embody that right now? And finding out what your guides and your messengers and your angels and your ancestors all have to tell you. I cannot make this up. I just had a notification come in on my phone and it says answering your questions. It just came in. It was 22:33 on the clock for you. Wow, this is so intense. Your reading is so intense. We had Vulture Spirit fly out, number 63. Nothing is wasted. This was all for purpose, right? It's like, oh my gosh, like I just went through this. What a waste of my time. You know, I thought the same thing. I did too. But then I realized that if I hadn't spent all that time pursuing my ex, and not after we'd broken up, but like while we were together, and begging him to love me and begging him to see me and begging him to see that I was a good person, I would have never known how to put that energy to myself, because it was literally changing my mindset and saying, I'm giving him all of this. So what does it mean to give that to myself? And that's when my life changed. Nothing is wasted. It's just shifting our perspective, right? There is always enough. Look at this. We have 63 and 36 coming out for you on the reading. Wow. And then we have being at home. Oh, I love your reading so far. I know it's hard, pile one. I know what you're going through. It feels so difficult and it's not fun, but this is for a very powerful reason. This is to help you understand the truth of your soul and just how incredibly wonderful you are. Like, you really haven't given yourself the credit you deserve because you focus so much energy on the situation itself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I'm not here saying you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. He's just a boy. Okay, no, like you should have done everything that you did do, because that's how it happened. It happened exactly as it was meant to. But to come into awareness says, I actually acknowledge this part of myself. And acknowledging it doesn't make it right or wrong. It just simply says, oh, okay, I've done that. And that's exactly what this is. And so when you spend so much time in this energy, it's hard to see how incredible you truly are. We have ruins. Things are you no longer need are falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. What's in the past is in ruins. There's no rebuilding it. Okay? Childish. Someone has to be the adult in the room. Maybe the term should be grow up or get out. And this is what I was saying. It's like you felt like you had to fulfill a role. Like you had to be in a role. Because it was like, if I don't take care of it, no one else will. If I don't show up, no one else will. If I'm not the one that's always the adult in the room, then everyone is just going to fall apart. Right? We have Carissa. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. Yeah, this is actually very beautiful. I love this. There's nothing is wasted. There is always enough. So we have 6336. I would like, if you have an opportunity and you feel called to, check that number out, 6336. That will hold a deeper meaning for those of you that choose to look it up. We have, look, number 6 coming out over 6. Be willing to express love. Express love to receive love. Let go of blame. Let go of the judgment. Come back to a state of love. When you're in a state of love, you receive that love. Okay? Companionship with dog here in number 41. So the uncomfortable place is to come into a mindset where you can invite in a friend. Not a love relationship, not a romantic relationship, but a friend. For some of you, this means that this was a friend who broke your heart in this way. And again, with the Sagittarius, I didn't even realize that until just now. The Sagittarius energy, look, he has his bow and arrow and the bow and arrow, right? So this is about expressing yourself truthfully and honestly so that you can call in your soul tribe. Okay, they're going to help you heal. But first, the healing starts with you and really releasing that which is no longer yours to hold on to. This is a vulnerable time for you. This is what makes it so vulnerable. Because there's this part of you that really believes, your emotional ego is saying, if I hold on to this, then I'm somehow justified in what I went through. But the Spirit says, I acknowledge and I validate the feelings and emotions that I experience going through this so that I can release it fully. Both are similar, but only one will allow you to fully release, right? Because the ego is saying, I can't validate it unless I hold on to it. But the Spirit says, I validate it by letting it go. And it's just this place of seeing it from a different perspective, finding balance, seeing it from a place of unconditional love. If you can't see this person from a place of unconditional love, it means that there's a part of yourself that you're not seeing from a place of unconditional love. Okay? So we want to shift our focus back to loving ourselves first. We're not asking you to love everybody that's hurt you. We're asking you to love yourself first so that you can see all those people that hurt you with eyes of love. There's a difference there, okay? And then we have Layla. Spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. Boom. No, look at what came up underneath that. Perspective. Oh, your reading is so synchronistic right now. So synchronistic. This is very, very, very intense. Very intense energy. Let me grab my book for bird messages and we'll take a look at your card. Wow. And this card, Layla, describes both of these cards together. Exactly. Spend time alone in nature. Meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. Let's take a look at your bird message and see what this is. So we have blue mannequin. Patience brings rewards. Okay, so this is not something that's going to happen in one go. It's just going to take some time, and it's going to take some consistency and effort on your part. It's going to take you wanting to show up for yourself. It's going to take you spending the time to get to know yourself. And that's a beautiful thing, right? We don't want it to happen in one go. No matter how much we think we do, we really don't want things to go that way, because anything that comes to us easy is more than often not worth having, okay? So here we go. Hold this up for you here so you can take a look at it. It says, Mannequin's musical acrobatic dance of seduction leaves his audience dazzled. His charms are shown to their best advantage by his hard-working number 2, a male pretender to his throne, a prime display branch, carefully stripped of leaves hidden deep in the Amazonian jungle. On this Sylvian stage, the duo perform an act of supreme synchronization, a whirring, repeated sequence of jumps, calls, and hovering, becoming ever faster, ever more frenzied, until at the crescendo of its passion, the supporting actor is summarily dismissed, and Mannequin takes his beauteous prize. If Mannequin is whirled into your cards, he counsels that if, like his supporting actor, you are playing the eternal second fiddle, the uncomplaining PA, or the long-suffering apprentice, that you be patient. For his assistant, if he continues to faithfully perform his duties, will, in the fullness of time, inherit the stage and claim his prize, as you will yours. So patience is needed here, because there's a need to alter your perspective, and to alter our perspective means to alter our beliefs, and that's something that takes time, right? That's not something that's going to happen tomorrow. That's going to take time. But through patience and time, you'll find this beautiful balance. And this is how you heal your heart, is by taking this time to get to know yourself right now and let go of what once was, so that you can open up to what will be. All right. I loved your reading. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I know having a broken heart is no fun, but this outcome for you to focus on yourself is absolutely supreme, okay? So if you feel like this is your reading, is there a bow and arrow emoji? I don't know. If there is, put a bow and arrow emoji down below and say, I focus on my goal and I shoot and let fly, right? Let Source know that you're ready to fly in and soar into your future and into your center stage. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful rhodochrosonite, Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on how can you heal your broken heart. First things first, I just want to say thank you to those of you that continue to support the channel and be a part of this incredible community. I'm so honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. These are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what does not. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all the links necessary below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information from there. You may also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is on Spotify. And if you're interested in becoming a member, there's a join button down below. When you click on that, it'll show you the 3 levels I have available, as well as the options that come with each level. So I do hope to see you over there. If not, thank you for your continued support here. And let's hop to it and find out more about how can pile number 2 heal their broken heart source. What messages do you have for us today? How can pile number 2 heal from their broken heart? How can pile number 2 heal their broken heart source? Okay, so we've got 12th house, Leo energy, and we've got Pluto. This is interesting. The first thing that I heard was being creative, like using it as fuel for your creative endeavors. So if you're an artist, a musician, a writer, poet, artist, drawer, painter, something like that, then your broken heart is actually meant to help push you forward into your creative endeavors. It's actually going to transform you and help give you a sense of empowerment through those creative outlets. And even if you don't have a creative outlet just yet, this is asking you to find something to put your energy into, right? It's seeing that you can rise above what has happened to you, seeing that it has actually happened for you to help guide you towards your higher self. And I feel like your broken heart in general, which we're talking about this situation, whatever the situation may be, which we may or may not get more of in the tarot, but it is showing that this actual particular situation was meant to drive you towards walking in your creative path. Okay? There's a lot of freedom that comes from expressing yourself, saying how it made you feel, but not just saying it. There's something that's very poetic about the way that you express it or will express it. So if you're an artist who paints, the way that you paint will be a poetic expression of the heartbreak that you've went through, and it's something that will bring peace and hope to others. And the same thing, like if you're a writer or something like that, it will be an endeavor that helps others help heal their own broken heart. And so for you, pile 2 really is about allowing yourself to express what it is that you've been through, to not continue projecting that, or to not continue hiding from it, or to not continue wondering about it, but rather feeling into it. Like in the bottom of your gut is where I'm feeling this. Like in the bottom of your gut, and draw it out and let it come out and let it become whatever it wants to become on paper, on canvas, on an instrument. It's something here that is going to powerfully help you overcome and reconnect with your intuitive self, your higher self. This is going to help you really hone in on if you have psychic abilities, or if you're wondering if you have psychic abilities, this is going to help you open up to those. But it really is, it has to be with your expression. It's something that you're going to see through. Once you're able to express it, you're going to see the illusion of it being a bad situation, and rather seeing it as something that has set you free, And again, with the 12th house, they're talking about, hospitals and, like old folks' homes and things like that. So it is this energy of coming through where you're actually going to help heal others because of this, like your particular situation. So it could be that maybe you're a therapist or a psychologist, or that's something that will help you express in a very real way, or you are going to write a book to people to help them overcome something that you went through, or you're going to help guidance, some sort of coaching project endeavor, or your art is going to express in such a way that people are going to understand how to face themselves. So for you, how you overcome and heal your broken heart is really truly through the avenue of expression, of self, and of creation. Okay, this is where your biggest transformation comes from. Let's grab the tarot. So Source, how can pile number 2 heal their broken heart? How can pile number 2 heal their broken heart? Yeah, this is something that's going to bring you success and abundance. It's also something that it's like leading you towards financial abundance as well. How can pile number 2 heal their broken heart? Thank you, Source. How can pile number 2 heal their broken heart? Yeah, it's going to help you stay grounded in yourself and what it is that you want from life. How can pile number 2 heal their broken heart, Source? What would you like to say here? Okay, thank you. Okay. How can pile number 2 heal their broken heart, Source? How can pile number 2 heal their broken heart? Thank you. Okay, and on the bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of coins in the reverse. So this is interesting because it is showing that this is the illusion, right? This is the illusion of being able to overcome the illusion of maybe this was a committed relationship, or this is also pointing towards what society expects of you to behave or to hash this out in a certain way, or even not to, right? To not hash it out, to just basically do what everyone else does and brush it under the rug and just deal with it, right? No, but that's like the last thing that you're supposed to do. You're really supposed to feel into this and let it become the fuel and the connection to where you will be helping others, right? You will be helping guide others back to their higher self, to source, to a higher power, to the creator, to their guides, their angels, their ancestors, right? This is like helping them gain access to a deeper truth of self and taking care of self and knowing that you belong. And just because you went through something that was really heartbreaking, it was actually an illusion in your life, and that you'll be able to use that as the fuel to move forward to create whatever it is that you're going to be creating. I feel like this is something you've been getting a nudge at for a while. So we have the King of Swords in the reverse. We have the 10 of Wands in the upright, and we have the Page of Wands in the reverse. This is interesting. So you see here where it's someone who is like talking you into a situation, right? It feels like you got talked into it, and someone who is like said everything that you wanted to hear, said all the right things, right? They painted the picture. They were able to make it beautiful. They were able to make it look wonderful, and that the two of you were going to be there together. Which makes me feel like for you, pile 2, this is like a love relationship, like a marriage that could have dissolved, a relationship that went south, that you broke up. But it's showing here that they only got involved with you for the sheer fact of having the physical connection with you. You were everything physically that they wanted. You were everything that fed their desires. You were everything that made them feel powerful when they themselves didn't. And for you, it was like being a bystander in a situation where this person is just kind of like bullying over a lot of people in their way to get what they want from them. And you were one of those people, and they made it seem like they were going to be there for you through thick and thin, in sickness and in health, whatever the deal may be. And here we have really being honest with yourself about, were there any red flags that maybe you overlooked because they painted such a beautiful picture, right? And here we have this energy of a divided heart, right? Not being able to cut off from something that you need to cut off from. And so this could be that you have a broken heart and you're still in connection with this person. And that could be for various reasons, right? That could be because you have kids with them, or maybe you're a pet parent, and I've seen that before where you share custody of a pet, and it's like finding a way to really relinquish the connection with this person will actually help you heal much better, because you feel like this person still knows how to trigger your wants and your desires, and also to trigger your inadequacies and your feelings of not being enough and everything else, and your insecurities, right? Like it's like they know how to make you feel really good, but they also know how to make you feel really bad, really crazy. Like this is a very unstable energy. But with the King of Swords also coming out here, it's showing that if you can cut yourself or limit yourself to this energy, you'll actually begin to be able to heal your heart, which will give you a way to really use that situation to create something. You're meant to create something. Like this is meant to help you connect back to a creative part of yourself that maybe you were disconnected from for a while, right? It's like you got involved in it with pure intentions. Like you were true about how you were getting involved with it, right? But right now it just feels so heavy. Like, how am I supposed to walk away? Right? This is like I'm having issues controlling how I feel about the situation, or how I feel even about this person, or how I feel about the outcome, or how I feel about the potential of getting back together. It just feels too heavy right now. Even though you had pure intentions, you wanted this to be something where you two were like this, two peas in a far out pod, being able to go the distance. And it didn't. You see, it was like there was an immature reason for them getting involved in it here. Okay, and so how to heal your broken heart is finding a way to limit contact with them as best as you can. And then finding in that free time a way to begin to create something that you've had your eye on for a while, something that's been on your mind for a while. You're going to know what it is. You know, it's going to be different for everyone. It could be anything. It could be one poem to a book of poems. It could be a short story to a blog. It could be a self-help book. This could be creating a YouTube channel. This could be creating a TikTok channel. This could be creating a coaching plan. This could, again, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just saying that you're meant to create something because of this situation. And that's what is really going to help you heal. But the first steps are limiting your contact with this energy, with this person, with this situation as best as you can. And I already feel there's someone here who's saying, I can't do that. Instead of focusing on what you cannot do, how can you shift your focus onto what you can do instead? Right? Like, I can take Friday night and focus on myself, right? Or I can take 20 minutes every day and go and work out so I can clear my head. Or I can take 30 minutes when I first wake up in the morning with a cup of coffee and a journal and journal to myself. Focus on what you can do right now. That's where your healing begins, is what you can do. Because the more you focus on what you cannot do, then it gives power to this energy, because they feel that vibrational up and down within you and they make plays at it. It wouldn't surprise me if this was a narcissist. I'm not here to diagnose, okay? I'm not here to say they are, they aren't, but it would not surprise me if this person leans towards narcissism or has very narcissistic tendencies. And again, we have this energy here where you're like juggling multiple things. Okay, there's like an energy of juggling multiple things here. Okay, but needing to save yourself from a situation where someone is extremely conceited, they're showing here that you will overcome, you will persevere, you'll make it out. But it's a mindset, right? This is not even about action that you can take. This is about changing your mind, changing how you perceive the situation here. Okay, really grounding into yourself here, right? We have Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo energy here. Really grounding it. Because you're meant to help people. You're meant to help people in similar situations. You could become, you know, I'm hearing a social worker. You could be someone that becomes an assistant for the battered wives home, or someone that helps abuse situations. Whatever it is, it's like this is meant to fuel your creativity, for you to get your hands on something that really fulfills your heart. And the more fulfilled and centered that you feel, the easier it will be for you to walk away from this situation. Even though right now it feels like you cannot, they're asking you to focus on what you can do. How can you make space for yourself? What little bit can you do today so that you can have a better future, okay? What 5 minutes can you dedicate to yourself in right now, okay? That's what they're asking you to do, because that's the start. The minute that you start to mend your heart, the more you'll find ways to dedicate to yourself, okay? We have mutable energy here with Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces. Surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change, right? Surrender is the main thing here. Stop trying to control the situation. Stop trying to control this person. Stop trying to control the outcome here. They have already decided the process and the life that they want to live. And the unique thing about that is that you get to do the same thing for yourself, right? We have number 10 here with treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. And I feel like this is so symbolic, because here it's like making time for you. So I do feel like there could be kids involved in this situation. Okay, and for those of you that does not resonate with, this is saying that this is about you taking care of your inner child. But again, making space, making a place, a safe place for yourself, even though the world continues to spin, even though the world goes on, whether you're there or you're not, right? Whether you're involved or you're not involved, the world will continue. This person will continue to do whatever it is that they're doing. Making space for yourself is how you begin to find peace. Okay? This is how you begin to find healing, and this is letting you complete the cycle fully. And when you complete the cycle, you'll be able to let it go. Okay, but this idea, look, the same energy, right? And there's a waterfall here, there's a waterfall here, and there's a waterfall here, right? Out of the hands. This is like, let source hold you and support you in this time while you make decisions that best serve you. Right? Source cannot do everything for us, but Source will hold and support us through our times of hardships. And Source will meet us halfway when we choose to put in the effort. We have number 36 here. Turn on your heart light. Reflect on a time when you experienced love so that you can begin to treasure your loved ones, right? This is also treasuring yourself. Remembering that it's important to love ourselves first so that we can love others deeply. Okay, so I feel like Source really wants you to pay attention to self-love right now, because it's how you're going to begin to heal your heart. Release. I cannot make this stuff up. They're being very clear about how to make the first steps towards healing your heart. You're the only one that can make that decision for you. No matter if the signs and synchronicities all line up for you, at the end of the day, you're the one with the power of choice. Okay, that's you. And it's okay, whatever you decide. You're not going to make Source mad. You're not going to make your guides, your angels, or ancestors mad. You're not going to make your higher self mad. But your choice will reflect on whether or not the emotional ego continues with wounding, or or begins to dissipate through spiritual healing. We have Green Man Synergy, which flew out. This is like finding that balance within yourself, okay? And synergy is all about, like, without the bees, then the flowers would cease to exist, right? Without trees, we would cease to exist. Without us, trees would cease to exist. It's like this perfect balance in the ecosystem where it's like everything is meant to work together for a purpose, for a reason. And for this to come out on your reading, it's showing me that this situation happened because it's helping bring you in balance and harmony, even though it was very chaotic and upsetting and harmful and hurtful and suffering and all these things. But it's actually through our suffering where we find the greatest peace, because without our suffering, how could we ever know what peace is? Without hurt, how could we ever know what love is? Right? Like, it's these very unique energies that we go through in life that teach us very valuable lessons. And it's like, this is something that you could not control no matter where you were, healed or unhealed. You would have never had a hand in controlling the outcome of what has happened. It happened exactly as it was meant to, so that you could become the centered person that you're meant to become. Look, we have dualism here. So with lightning and power, right? Without one, the other does not exist. Without one, the other does not exist. So it's interesting that they would bring out Green Man on the reading, on the table, and still have power on the bottom of the deck, because these are very similar energies. However, it's showing that everything is working in synergistic order, right? Like, it's very synergistic. It's this cyclical cycle that we go through. But then you have lightning here, which shows that without lightning, thunder ceases to exist. Without good, the bad ceases to exist. Without bad, good ceases to exist. So you have to have both situations. We're full of both. We're full of the dualism that we see in the world. We have that within ourselves as well. We have to honor that and own that and know that that's true, and know that we can choose one over the other. Because it's not about the fact that they both reside within us. It's about the fact of which one we choose to feed on a continual basis. Okay, and that's why they're painting the picture here. Is you get to choose how you show up for yourself here. What else would you like to say here, Source? What other messages do you have for pile number 2? How can they heal their broken heart? Thank you. Knowing your worth. Yes. Knowing your worth. Okay? You're beautiful. You're incredible. You're amazing exactly as you are in this moment. Simply because a situation didn't work out the way you expected it to, that doesn't mean that you're unlovable. Okay? That doesn't mean that you're not going to get somebody in your life that is better suited for you or more aligned with you. We have long road on the bottom. You have a long way to go before you find what you want, but the journey helps you grow. Everything happens for a purpose. Changing the perspective of seeing things happening for you instead of to you. Life happens for me, right? The universe is for me, and so is everything else. Even the hard things, right? We have Archangel Gabrielle flipping over here. You have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. I cannot make this stuff up. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. Archangel Gabrielle is an angel of communication. So let me move these over here. Get this realigned, possibly. Or just leave it a mess. Who cares? Alright, so yeah, there's something about communication. You're meant to communicate this to others. This is meant to help heal. And it's like, it could feel like a cruel joke. Well, why did I have to go through this? But you're the only person that brings a perspective on it that's going to help others understand it. That's why. It's something you agreed to long before you were born. It wasn't some cruel joke. It was to help heal the wounds in the world. And that's amazing. You know, everyone is called. Like we always say, oh, only a few people are called. No, it's everyone is called. Everybody that is here is called. But only a very select few will ever answer that call, while others ignore it completely. Indriel, you're a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love, like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. Exactly, you're here to help raise the vibration. That's what keeps the low vibration in check, are the handful of light workers. It's so amazing how incredible light energy is, because we only need a little bit of it to keep the dark at bay, right? Darkness is everywhere, but just a little bit of light keeps it at bay. Sextile, a combination of tension and flow, potential and a rewarding situation. So this happens so that you could come into your own. Kindness with fruit bat and flying fox, embracing both the darkness and the light within you, being kind to the whole being of yourself. We have 12 here, which is all about our perspective, seeing it from a different place, seeing it from a different mind's eye. Believe in yourself and know your worth. Okay, so important for you right now to really believe that you can. Yes, I can. You know, I used to say this affirmation to the little girl that I used to take care of for years. We would go in the car, and in the morning on the car ride, after I got her ready for school, I'd ask her, "What's today?" And we had worked out an affirmation, and she would start screaming, "Today is an awesome day because yes, I can." And I learned that because I had a boss who would come in, "Today's an awesome day. Today is an awesome day. Today is an awesome day." And somewhere along the way, yes, I can became one of my affirmations. It became one that I said, right? And so I was like, I wonder how powerful this affirmation stuff is if I started on a young mind. And so I did. And she was 7 when we started, and we did it until she was 12. And that was from the time that I had learned it. This was years ago. And every day in the car on the way to school, I'd be like, "What's today?" And I'd tell her, "I can't hear you." And I'd make her yell louder. And she'd be like, "Today is an awesome day because yes, I can." And we would do that every morning and get the biggest kick out of it, right? But focusing on what you can do is the important place here. Believing in yourself and knowing your worth. What can I do today? Ending. You're pretending that it's not ending, but it's time to let go. Make a fresh start. Look, exactly. It's like, this is something, there's no going back on this. Like, there's no way to mend this. There's no way to heal the broken the broken road. I keep hearing that song, "God bless the broken road that led me home to you," or that led me straight to you. Is that a Lone Star song? No, it's a little Rascal Flatts song. Rascal Flatts. God bless the broken road that led me straight to you. So this is a broken road, but it's going to bless you in leading you directly where you need to go. Okay, so let's take a look at your bird message. We'll see what we have. Atlantic Puffin. Be independent. Look to the future and thrive. It's the flying penguin. All right, let's see what Atlantic Puffin has to say here. 53. Alrighty then. So we have puffins, gregarious Atlantic fishermen, hew their burrows from verdant grassy slopes, striped beaks, their picks, orange feet, their shovels. Puffin's single chick, a soft ball of charcoal cotton candy, flourishes on a rich fishy diet until one fateful day Puffin abandons the burrow. It is time for the chick to make her first flight above the Atlantic, alone, unable to ever recognize her parents because of the concealing velvet darkness of her earthy nursery. If Puffin walks with comical rolling gait into your cards, it is time to consider dependence and independence. Puffin has given her chick all it needs to thrive, and she counsels that you too have all the tools you need to carve your way in life without the help of others. It is time to be independent, to go it alone, and like Puffin, when she leaves the burrow, to never look back. That is so powerful. You have the strength. You have the power to do exactly what you need to do. Something is ending here, okay? It feels like a relationship, but this could be a family situationship, a friendship, a co-worker situationship. This could be a boss. This could be whatever it is. Like I said, what I was feeling mostly was it was a relationship, but it could be any kind of connection that you have. And this is time for you to believe in yourself, to know your worth, and to know that it happened so that you could have everything you needed to thrive and to succeed on your journey moving forward. And when you let it go and you come into that centered place for yourself, these are the steps for you to begin to heal your broken heart. And remember that healing is a lifelong journey. It's not something that we do for a week and then we're okay. This is something that we continue to practice and show up for so that we can become our best self each and every day. Okay? So this is what I see for you. If you feel like this is your reading, is there a little skunk emoji? I don't know. If not, if there's a little squirrel emoji or bat emoji, leave that down below and say, I choose to be independently myself, knowing that I can carve my way into my future. Leave me a thumbs up down below, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second to thank your guide, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans. If you were drawn to this beautiful rose quartz, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on how can you heal your broken heart. First thing, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this channel. I'm so honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to come as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. These are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave what does not. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. I'll get you out further information. You may also follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify, which is Scatter Love Radio. And if you're interested in becoming a member, there's a join button that you can click on down below that will show you the 3 levels I have available, as well as the options that come with each level. So I do hope to see you over there. And if not, thank you for your continued support here. So let's go ahead and hop into it and find out how can pile number 3 heal their broken heart source. What messages do you have for them? How can pile number 3 heal their broken heart? What would you like to say, source? How can pile number 3 heal their broken heart? Okay, we've got South Node, the 9th house, and Aquarian energy. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. This is about expanding your consciousness. Okay, learning something new about yourself, about this situation, like understanding it better, understanding it deeper, like a broader perspective on what it is that's happened to you, because this is something you're meant to let go of, right? With the South Node energy here, it's saying no matter what has transpired, this is all reminiscent of the childhood wounds and traumas that we experienced growing up. And that's what you're attempting to walk away from, to leave, to let go of, to surrender so that you can step into North Node energy. The thing is that no matter how comfortably uncomfortable the South Node is, the discomfort that comes with change is far more frightening than holding on to what is familiar. And so what we see here is that the broken heart that has happened is something that was familiar. This is something that has happened multiple times. Whether the circumstances have been different, they're all mirroring one another. We see here to be innovative and creative in the way that you learn about this process, okay? And what they're saying here is that you can take a spiritual dive. This can be going back to school. This could be going into the psychological aspect of it. I'm hearing to study dark psychology, and don't ever get freaked out by stuff like that. There's actually a reason for that. It's just understanding the manipulative tactics of another person to help you better use your discernment moving forward. This is what it's saying here, is that you will greatly benefit from expanding your mindset when it comes to this, rather than just, it's not that you've accepted the broken hearts in the past, it's just kind of like resigning to the fact that it's happened. It's like, well, okay, that happened again, so whatever, I guess we'll hope the next one's better. They're saying instead of doing that, to really be active and present in how you choose to show up from here on out. Like, this is more than boundaries. This is like mental understanding, okay, of yourself with the Aquarius energy here. It's doing things that other people normally would not do, right? Usually Aquarians are the trendsetters of the zodiac, and so everything they do is new, it's unique, it's very original. So they want you to be original. What are you getting drawn to? There's something you're getting drawn to study here, and that will help actually lift you up out of this heartbreak energy and into a place of absorbing wisdom and knowledge, and tapping into your Akashic records and tapping into that energy will help you to vibrate into a new timeline, which will let you then go towards that which you really desire. When you see that this is something that is important for you, see that this is something that when you let go of, you're relinquishing the South Node energy, which will really help you to walk in your path of purpose. Okay? And, you know, you're someone who's very open and friendly about what it is that you've gone through and what it is that you've experienced. But I feel like beyond that, it's something that you need to understand on a deeper level for yourself. Like, why does my vibration attract me to these situations? Why does what my thoughts and feelings are bring these types of people into my life? And how can I become the embodiment and the version of myself that I want to be, so that my future is filled with people who respect me, people who care about me, people who aren't trying to break my heart, but rather people who we can discuss our differences, and if we have a situation, we can come to a solution together, like what we would imagine adults would do, but that's really not something that adults do in this day and age, is it? So it's learning how to approach life from an entirely different place. Some place that's more strategic, some place that's more justice oriented, some place that's more spiritual, some place that's more self-reflective in general here. Okay, so let's see what comes out with the tarot. We might get a look at what it was, the situation. We might not, so just keep an open mind there. And as always, if you have watched all three piles, leave a purple heart down below and say, I made it. Purple hearts are always for those of you that stick with me for all the piles. I really appreciate you. So source for pile number 3, how can they heal their broken heart? What would you like to tell them? How can they heal their broken heart? By being honest about what you're intuitively feeling is something that's coming through here. How can pile number 3 heal their broken heart? And nurturing that too, like not just writing it off, like, oh no, I must be crazy, like no one else feels that way, no one else does that, no one else is like that. It's not just writing it off, it's like really looking into it before you just throw it to the wind. Okay? How can pile number 3 heal their broken heart? Thank you, source. Thank you. Wow, it was so weird. It's like wonky. Okay. How can pile number 3 heal their broken heart, source? What messages do you have for us? How can pile number 3 heal their broken heart? Thank you. How can pile number 3 heal their broken heart? Yeah, I knew you wanted to come out. I felt it. It went back in. I was like, well, How can pile number 3 heal their broken heart source? What messages do you have for pile number 3? How can they heal their broken heart? Oh, thank you. Yeah, we've got the 6 of Wands reversed. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Lover reversed. So this is reminiscent or indicating that you may have been cheated on. Okay, multiple times. Yeah. So it was an unfair situation. Look at this. So someone who wasn't fully committed. Wow. But someone who tried to make a promise to you, but in turn, it was an empty promise, is what this is saying. Right? They did it for the label. Okay, it's like, if I get married to you, I'm going to get married to you for the label. Or if I'm a friend with you, I'm a friend with you because of the label. Okay? I don't actually have any investment in this here. I am judging you for what it is that I'm actually doing. So you may have been accused of cheating, you know, and it may put you in a really sticky situation, right? Like, there's sometimes where people get they get accused of cheating so many times where it's just like, fine, if you're going to accuse me of doing it, then I'm actually going to go and do it. No judgment. Okay, I'm bringing it up for the sheer fact that this is how sometimes this happens, right? You're like, every day I come home and you accuse me of cheating. Every time my phone rings, you accuse me of cheating. Every time anything happens on my phone, you accuse me of cheating. Every time anything happens at all, you accuse me of cheating. Not like I have family or friends, right? Oh no, that must be someone who's a side chick or a side dude, right? And so it's like, if I'm going to get accused so many times of cheating, I'm just going to go out and do it. So then at least I fulfill that role that they're trying to push me into. For others of you, you were getting accused of cheating and you didn't. But either way, that accusation was actually them telling the truth on themselves. They were cheating on you. Okay? And with Justice and the Lover here, that's exactly what that's saying. Like, I'm judging you for something that I'm doing. Right? Like, I'm going to blame you for something that I myself am doing. And it's going to go either way. There are going to be people who are just like, fine, I'll go and do it. Because it's like resentment, right? That's resentment. And there's no reason to be mad at people who do stuff like that, because you cannot say what you would or wouldn't do until you're in a situation like that consistently, right? And if you chose not to, how can you choose someone else who's had an entirely different experience altogether, right? And so it's like coming back into this place of, we're talking about judgment. So the main thing that's coming through here is a judgment based on your partner and what your partner put you through, or based on this person, what they put you through, which is understandable, right? But judgment is a very, very low vibrational energy, and that will continue to put you in a place where you'll judge others for things that may be the same kind of traits that you have. So putting yourself in this place of, am I judging others for things that I myself am doing? This is where you can start to learn, and that's what we had with the dice, is learning more about the situation, about yourself, understanding. So if this is someone who is a serial cheater, learn about that, right? Learn what comes with that. Like, why does that exist? What are patterns that come with that? But also learn too, like, if that's the type of people that you've had in your life, on the other side, why does someone like me attract serial cheaters? Like, learning deeper meanings to it so that you can understand this fully, so you're not sitting in a place of like, oh, well, they're a cheater, they're a bad person. It's more or less understanding, well, they can't commit because they saw, growing up their whole lives, they saw their parents cheating, or they saw a lack of commitment in their own lives. Or it's like understanding the why of what happened rather than sitting in judgment at the fact that it happened, right? And this is actually going to help heal your heart, because it's going to help you understand more about yourself. And when you understand more about yourself, you're going to love yourself deeper. And in loving yourself deeper, you actually get to come from a place of unconditional love for others, and just understanding that my only place is to accept all that is. I have no say or control or power to change everything out there. I can only accept it as it is and choose to change myself. Yeah, we have the Page of Cups in the reverse, and we have the Five of Coins in the reverse. This is a big deal, okay? Like, Source is pointing out that this is an extremely big deal for you, okay? We're not trying to diminish how you feel, okay? We're not trying to say, oh, you shouldn't feel that way. That is not at all. Even in sitting in this place of where maybe you've judged others, we all have judged someone. Everybody in the world, I'm guilty of it. Everybody I know is guilty of it. You're guilty of it. It's something that humans do. It's a natural human trait, okay? Like, it's something that we have to understand. And when we understand, we begin to understand why we're coming from that place, okay? And so we're not sitting here saying what you did was bad or what you're going through is bad. What we're sitting here and saying is that we understand this is a very big deal to you, okay? We understand that this is something that weighs very heavy on your heart, and it's hard to let go of because it's like, what did I do to deserve that? You did not do anything. This is why they want you to expand your horizons and learn about something outside of you. Understand what creates a serial cheater, what creates a serial monogamist, right? Like, those are things that you can study to understand a situation here, because if you are a serial monogamist and you're attracting serial cheaters, the only way to understand the depth of that wound is to understand the patterns that come with that. Okay, so there's some sort of imbalance that's going on for you. It could have happened between the ages of 6 and 8. We have 666 coming out together here. It's finding a resolution here, finding a solution, seeing yourself through eyes of unconditional love, seeing this situation through eyes of unconditional love. That does not mean inviting them back in. When we see it from eyes of unconditional love, what we're saying is to see it from a place of, I cannot change what has happened. I cannot change this person. I cannot change how I showed up. But what I can do is change where I'm at right now. Okay? It's accepting that what is what was, and that's it. And letting it go, because holding on to it, reliving it, and experiencing that pain time and time and time and time and time again, wondering, what did I do? What did I do? How did I say? What did I say? How could I have said this differently? How could I have acted differently to prevent this from happening? What we're saying is that you cannot have prevented this from happening when the other person involved already made a decision based on their own life experiences. They didn't want to hurt you, but you got caught in the crossfires. That's not something that could have been prevented in the mindset that this person came from. So with the 9th house here and the Aquarius energy we have is understanding the differences between you two, the uniqueness that comes with each of those situations, so that you can begin to let yourself heal from and understand that you played no role in the way that this person showed up. It's not your responsibility to hold this person's life journey on your shoulders. They have to own and take accountability for their own actions to themselves and not to anyone else. They don't owe that to you, just like you don't owe it to them. And that's difficult because we feel like we're owed something when a situation like this happens to us. Well, I'm the one that was hurt. I'm the one that got caught in the crossfire. So why am I not owed at least an explanation as to why this went down? And that's what Source is bringing up here. The way for you to heal your heart is to begin to understand other situations like this, other people who have gone through things like this. What have they learned? What have they experienced? How have they come back to completing themselves? How have they come back to making themselves feel whole again? And how have they, more importantly, gotten away from people who do not have solid intentions of staying in a committed relationship, and who aren't brave enough to say what they need, right? Because the whole reason that the situation happened is because neither one of you or the other one was not willing to say what they needed, okay? So it's either both parties or it's one party is not willing to speak on their truth of saying, hey, I just want to have fun, or hey, I really need a committed relationship. And this is about learning how to grow and take action when it comes to how you think about yourself, how you respect yourself, how you judge yourself, and how you take on these spiritual lessons that are coming to help guide you back to your higher self, that are helping you come back to the version of you that is at peace and at rest with as things are. Not as they could have been, not as you wanted them to be, but as they are in this here, now, here moment. Because we cannot change that, right? It is exactly as it is. And the thing is that there's this disconnect coming through here where you're not connecting with others because of this disruption that's happened. And it's a big deal. And so now it's hard for you to connect with others, whether that is in relationship terms, family, friendships. But it's like this situation has weighed so heavily on your heart. You're losing touch with reality. You're losing touch with the ability to be social again. You're losing touch with the ability to connect with others on a personal level because this idea of betrayal is weighing so heavily on your heart that it's like, that's what I said earlier, that resignation to this is just how it is. So I guess I'll just wait and tow for the next one to come along. Right. And it's like a very sour energy to come through. And it's for a reason, right? Again, we're not discrediting that. But what we're saying is that the purpose of our feelings is to feel the emotion and then let it go. Not to stay in that emotion and let that emotion determine how our lives go from here on out. So this is something that continues to happen to you. Instead of disconnecting, we have to reconnect with our heart and our center. And in reconnecting with our heart and our center, we will be able to understand a deeper part of ourselves to let this go for good. You don't deserve this. You did nothing to deserve this, okay? But there are a lot of cosmos flying around on the world that we can't help but run into. And I actually did a reading not too long ago where I was talking about where two cosmos come together and they collide. They're forever changed, right? Like you meeting a new person, your lives are forever changed. There's no going back. This situation, both of your lives are forever changed. There's no going back. Your cosmos collided, but what happened was you chose to stay with it, right? They chose to stay with you, and so the impact became even greater over time. And letting that go allows you to learn the lesson from that, right? You have to let go. You have to let yourself break up this alliance that maybe you've held with connecting with monogamous cheaters or people who treat you disrespectfully or people who abuse you in some way, because it's exactly what this feels like, is abuse. But we have to remember that if we're seeing that in the outworld, the outer realms, in the physical realm, then our internal world is a mess, okay? It's a hot mess, and we have to figure that out internally. And I speak from experience because all of the relationships that I have had in my life have been cheaters. Every one of them. So I understand what you're going through. If this is what resonates with you, it's someone who cheated on you. If it's not a cheating, it's a betrayal. This is just a very deep betrayal. It's a big deal, okay? They're showing that. It's a very big betrayal. But I want you to understand, it's like I now know what of my traits and my own actions and the belief about myself was 2222 on your clock was calling in those serial cheaters in my life. Okay, like I understand that. It took me a lot of time, practice, patience, understanding, and compassion for myself to get to this point of knowing that, wow, like I was just settling and I was being disrespectful to myself, and therefore I was inviting in people who were disrespectful. And there's a story that I listened to. It was a short that came up on my page the other day. And it talked about this guy who had two women friends who were both incredibly beautiful, who were entirely, like, there was nothing really different from them. They went to the club, okay? They both dressed very similar. They were both very gorgeous women. And he's like, and one of my friends She, all night long, no man bothered her. No one came over. No one talked to her. Everyone left her alone. And the other girl, all night long, she got just basically molested by men who had ill intentions for her. Just wanted her to be a boo thing, wanted her to be a one night stand, like all these things. And he's watching this unfold. They were all watching this unfold. And the lady that kept getting the men who wouldn't leave her alone, she just finally was like, what the actual HE devil hockey stick is going on? And they finally all sat together and were like, okay, what is it? And they realized that one of the women, she was so grounded and centered within herself, and she was very strong in her identity and who she was. One second. And the other woman, she had been through a lot of situations in her life, and she was just energetically in a place where she was calling in very low vibrational men into her lives and to her life. And so it's really truly how you heal your broken heart is understanding why these situations have come into your life, like why these situations have really impacted you in a way to where the cycle continues to repeat. And they're not saying that it's not hard. We're not saying, oh, you should just get over it. That's not what we're saying at all. We're saying find a way to find a solution to helping you feel the emotion and let it go. Let it go for good. You deserve to be free from this type of pain. You deserve to be free from these types of situations. But there is no wish that's big enough in the world to make that happen. There's intention and there's wishes. And intention says, I'll do my due diligence. I will show up and do my part. A wish says, I want you to just give it to me without any work, right? So you're not going to make a wish big enough to make this go away, but you can make an intention to show up, to do what you need to do to let this go. We have the moon. Satisfy emotional needs. You're nurturing yourself and others, right? Reconnecting with others is important, but first you must nurture and love yourself unconditionally. And through that love, you'll begin to heal your heart, which will allow you to really connect with others in a different way than you've ever connected with others before. You're not just going to let people come into your life just for whatever reason, right? You're going to actually be in a place where you can have alliances and where you can have friendships and where you can have deeper connections that are more than just surface level, physical oriented type connections, right? They're more intimate. Intimate is about getting to know a person. It's not about having a physical connection. Being intimate with someone is being able to know this person inside and out, the things that not everybody gets to know about another person. And so there's this need to really begin to be intimate with yourself so that you can be intimate with other people. So we have consider your foundation. Look at how committed you are to love. If it's something that you deeply desire in your life, is to have a love relationship, a friendship, a soul tribe situation, whatever it is, if that's something you really want, how committed are you to that to make the changes necessary for your own energetic field? You know, the other thing is too, they say love is the highest vibration that there is, right? Actually, it's interesting because they did a study on it recently, and I wish I could remember the guy that said this. I don't remember his name, but there was a study done where they're saying that actually the highest vibrational energy that we can emit is authenticity. So to be in our authentic energy fully, without wearing a mask, without saying being in the victim, without the poor me, oh my life, oh this, oh geez, oh that. It's saying, you know what, I am who I am, and I'm going to let myself speak my truth, which is different for everyone. That's the highest vibrational energy that we can put out. Before that is love, right? Yes, this is something you're meant to release. You have to let this go. It's time. It's time. This has been something that's been weighing on you for a long time. It's been a long time. Okay. And that way you can celebrate yourself. It's so important to celebrate how far you've come and what you've gone through, and the fact that what really doesn't kill us really does make us stronger. It really does make us stronger. And you get to celebrate that. And you get to celebrate how far you've come. You survived this. Give yourself an opportunity to experience that. We have trust the great mystery with whale spirit and number 65, which is 11. This is a very spiritual lesson you get to learn. Okay, it's not even you have to learn it. It's something you get to learn. And you get to choose how you do that for yourself. But this is a gift from Source to help you reconnect with your creative energy, your creative being, your internal soul. On the bottom, dream the world into being. Number 38, 11 again, 11, 11. You get to choose how you approach this. Doesn't that feel a lot better than saying, oh, you have to do this or else? Like, no, Source, our spiritual team and our higher selves are never like that. That's our ego. That's all our ego saying that, like, you disappointed me. Like, you made a mess of things. No, like, that's not at all how Source is. Source is the gentle, loving presence that is guiding us back home to ourselves. Okay? Ego's the one that makes everything into a competition, that has to label everything, that has to say that we're good, we're bad, we deserve rewards or punishment. Like, that's all ego coming into play. Right? So remember, if you're feeling that right now, then that is navigational system for you to check your ego. We know that's not true, right? We know that's not true. Source is this loving guide that's showing us the way back home to our souls. Okay? We're a soul here having a human experience, but that doesn't mean that we have to be a soul here lost by the human emotions. Right? Let's get a shadow aspect here, Source. What do you want to say? Alright, let's get an angel card first, because they obviously want an angel card first. Alright, let's look at the angel card. Omega, victory! Your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. Exactly! We're cheering you on. We want you to succeed. We've never set you out there to fail. Okay, but remember, we have different cosmos that are flying around everywhere. Yvonne, you have a special bond with animals. Your pets on earth and in heaven are watched over by angels. Aww. I love that. Okay, let's see what the shadow aspect is. Can you please have a shadow aspect for this reading, Source? What would you like to say? I feel like you're wondering if the shadow aspect is what it is. We have fears. You act aggressive, but you are just protecting yourself. Soften your heart so you can feel again. This is your right to feel, right? Healing sacral chakra wounding right now. Error. Being open-minded, objective, and learning new things with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius energy coming in. Yes, choose love. You always have a choice. Make yours with love. 3131. You get to choose love. And thus bring in loyalty to yourself and from others, right? But you have to first be what it is that you want to yourself. So if you want love, then be loving to yourself. If you want loyalty, honor, and integrity, be loyal and honor and integral to yourself, right? We have 2911 again. So you might see 11 a lot. And that's a message from Source to just focus on being in a higher vibrational energy. Find your passion. Let go of anger and step into passion. Facing it. You know something isn't right. Don't be afraid to find out the truth. It will set you free. Learning something new. You're the only one who can face the internal being inside of you and find the answer and the solution to your journey. Because what's right for you isn't going to be right for everyone. And what's right for everyone isn't going to be right for you. And that's okay. That's by design. That's where different perspectives and experiences come into play that help teach us even more about ourselves. Okay, so let's look at your card here. Southern Cassowary. We have spread seeds of love and creativity and see them blossom. What an interesting bird. It looks like a dinosaur. It looks like a dinosaur. All right, let me find this in the book. Come on, glossary, where you at? All right. Alrighty then. Let's see. 45. Okay. Says giant. Wow, that was really close. Can you see it? Okay. Giant flightless cassowary dwells in Australia's rainforests, dining on fabulously fruity bounty such as plum, gum, and pine, all as sparkling azure as her fleshy neck. Cassowary is kind to the seeds that pass through her 128-pound body, and when she blesses earth with digested fruits, it receives a dark material studded with hundreds of colored jewels of pink, yellow, and turquoise, jewels that give birth to a new healthy tree. Without cassowary, the forest would falter as plant after plant became extinct. If cassowary had stomped into your life on huge, scaly-toed feet, she's letting you know that it's time to spread your own seeds of creativity. For your ideas, like cassowary's fruit seeds, will grow into sturdy trees and proliferate. And the love that you give will likewise blossom in equal measure. Like cassowary seeds, its recipients need you in order to flourish, right? We were talking about that, letting go of judgment and coming into a place of love. That's the most powerful thing that you can do, right? Finding a new passion here, finding a new way to learn and understand about yourself. You're doing an amazing job. You've come so far on your journey. See if I can block out some of the sun. Okay? Give yourself a chance to flourish here, to thrive. All right? So this is what I see for you, pile 3. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the fire emoji down below and say, I face my past and I relinquish it to my passions. So you let Source know that you're ready to step into the truth of who you are. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.